Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys. Hello, lovely people. I hope you're well and welcome back to another Monday night live show. My name is Callum, joined by Drifty. Man like Matt will be joining us slightly later. As always, guys, make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And look, I got a little bone to pick with you guys before we get into it. There's a high percentage of you guys who watch but don't subscribe. It's one button. Please just press the button, guys. If you watch it regularly, you must like it. Just press the subscribe button. Ain't going to cost you nothing. So please, people, do that. Like the video as well, people. We've got some good topics to get into. Obviously, we touched on this in a little bit of detail yesterday. Might go into a little bit more detail today. We speak about Jota and how he's perceived by Liverpool fans. Also going to speak about that number 9 position and who's the best player to fill that role at the moment. Depending on what we do in the summer, that may change. And then also going to be speaking about the Naby Keita and Jordan Henderson debate. Drift, how you doing today?
I'm good, bro. I'm not blurry, am I? I'm just trying to find a cloth or a tissue or something so I can wipe the lip. Can you? I'm not blurry, no. But on my one, it looks like I'm a bit blurry. But yeah.
No, you're all good. We've been watching like goal highlights and that, and just mess up the camera, yeah.
No, bro. You know, on my phone, you know.
Hey, look,
sweating
I'm not judging,
up the place, talking to everyone about this blood clot team, man.
I'm not judging. I watched some of the goals back this season, and yeah, man.
You know, I genuinely only watch back the shows. I only watch back the goals, sorry, at the end of the season if we win something. Very rarely, if it's a season where we didn't win anything, do I do any reflecting of the season. I don't know. I feel a little like, I think last season was a little bit of an anomaly because we had such a brilliant charge and we got the third. So I'll watch back loads of moments, like, especially the Ali moment. Like I've watched that about a million times when he scored the goal against West Brom. But in general, yeah, I only watch it back if we win. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be watching back the goals of this season.
I will be. I definitely will.
Time will tell on that one.
Look, even if we don't, I still will be. I think.
Oh, I thought you meant as in that because we'll be winning. So.
No, I still think we will. Like, obviously, you know, there's kind of no
technically
shame.
We have won something.
Yeah, like there's kind of no shame in what my game is. Like I've said that I do think we're gonna win multiple trophies this season. So that's why I still stick.
I'm gonna keep my opinion on all that kind of stuff to myself.
Fair enough. Let's get into the first topic then, Drift. Diogo Jota. If there's one player I've seen split the fan base over the last 24 hours, it is this man. And I know we had our debate on this yesterday, and I want to be clear, and I think I can speak for Matt and Drift on this when I say this. We all rate and love Jota highly. May not have been the first choice for me and Matt when we bought him. Drifty's always been on the Jota train. And literally from the third game in, me and Matt were on that train as well, saying how well the recruitment have done and how great of a player he is that we've signed. Now, that doesn't mean he's above criticism. In the same way we love Mane, in the same way we love Salah, in the same way we love Firmino. We can look and say they're all great, but you can pick holes in their game. And you can pick holes in every footballer's game over the course of history. That being said, though, him playing as a number 9, some like it, some don't. Some think it works, some think it don't. Some think he should sort of be seen and judged differently to how other players are on the pitch as well. Drift, before we get into this back and forth, your thoughts on Jota as a player and what you've seen being spoken about and where you stand on how he should be sort of perceived by the fan base.
As a player, I think he's wicked. Like, I think he's pretty much got everything with regards to like his work rate and his mentality. I think that's why he fit in so quickly, his determination. And then you couple that with brilliant finishing, either foot. He's not ambidextrous, so to speak, but a lot of the time you'd be kind of shocked at how good he is with his left foot, which kind of makes you always think, bloody hell. Yeah, like loads of times I just think he's left-footed because he's so good with his left foot. Even yesterday, that chance he had in the second half, I watched it back and he still should have went with his right foot. But he actually went with his weaker foot because he's so comfortable with that foot.
You talk about the one that came across him, Drift. You reckon still right, yeah?
Yeah, if you watch it back, bro, I still think I think if he hits it with his right, it rifles straight into Edison's top left instead of giving Edison the chance to actually go right and make the save. Like, you know, like if you watch it back, you'll probably see what I mean. Like it's like waiting for it to come across him actually gave the keeper more of a chance to be able to ready himself for the strike. Like that half a second, if he'd have just swung at it with his right foot, I reckon that would have gone in. So I think he's brilliant finishing with both feet. I think in the air, he's almost second to none. Honestly, I think Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier League, maybe the only player I'll say who's better than him at headering. Maybe one or two others if you remind me, but he is so good in the air. Was he 5'8"? Like he isn't even tall. 5'10". So is he 5'10"? Even so, that you know what I mean? That's still relatively short for what is deemed, you know, good height for being good in the air or whatever.
I think he's top. I think he's definitely top 5. I won't go out on a limb and say he's number 1 only because I'd have to think about it more.
No, Ronaldo's number 1. Cristiano's a better header than him. But other than
Harry Kane's up there.
No, he's up there. I still don't think he's a better header than Jota, though.
Oh, I do, you know.
Nah, I'll be honest, bro. I don't think he's a better header than Jota.
No, that's true. That's debate, though. That's a debate. Like
he's a brilliant header of the ball. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like definitely Harry Kane in the air is brilliant. And there's probably one or two others that I'm probably maybe like forgetting, but Jota is right up at the top of the list of being good in the air. Like his movement and the way he just gets such a good spring on his jump and all that. And his accuracy with his headers is actually what I love as well. Do you know what I mean? Which is one of the things I do admire about Ronaldo when it comes to his heading ability is forget about the fact that I don't like him as a person or whatever. That the spring he gets in his jump and the power he generates in his headers are incredible. And I think that's what makes Cristiano so good in the air. And Jota's a little bit like that. And then after that, I feel like he's quite a brilliant, powerful runner when he's having a good game. Now, what my issue with Jota would be is sometimes I think he can be rash. And I'm trying to figure out whether it is he's rushing things, if he's feeling a bit of the pressure in that moment, or if he's being lackadaisical. Because for me, I think it's one of those. Because it's not ability. Because if you go back to certain games, bro, like, for example, that time when he was the one who carried the torch against Arsenal while the big boys were away at AFCON, he was doing all the things we were moaning he wasn't doing yesterday. So he's capable of it. Do you get what I mean? And I know, like, obviously, we'll finish up the Jota thing. You see, remind me to tell you, because I was talking with Mont. Shout out Mont and the Big Six boys. Get over there and subscribe to them.
Indeed,
me and him was having a little back and forth just a little while ago. And I was just trying to let him know that there was parts of that Man City game where, and again, I'll get to it, so remind me, where I don't think Jota can be to blame for reasons I'll let you know when we get to it. But for just Jota as the player, I just think he can either be a bit lackadaisical, maybe get caught up in the moment a little bit, you know, like maybe feeling the pressure a little bit or whatever, or whatever. But it's not ability. It is an ability why he doesn't hold the ball up as well as we would like, etc., etc.
So, all right. So here's my thing with it. You see the Arsenal game in the League Cup semi-final he played. He was, for me, almost unplayable that day. And you take away his goals in that game, for me, he's still man of the match. So when we sort of started this debate yesterday and I was saying, look, his goal contributions are excellent. Like the fact that he's third top goal scorer in the league, like can't be even questioned. But after yesterday's display, it's like, and this is just talking about yesterday's game. I'm not going to go through his whole season so far because I think he's been excellent this season. But yesterday's game, for me, he was just not on it. And for me, it was almost like even one of the comments I've seen here is like, he scored an important goal, so it's unfair to discuss his performance. I'm like, we do it with all the other players. Why does he get off? And we've seen Bobby have games where he scored a goal, but we're coming away saying he should have had a hat-trick or he should have been better with his build-up play and stuff like that. We've seen games where Salah gets a brace and we're still sitting there saying, you know what? Salah got a brace, but he could have slipped in Mane here, or he could have slipped in Firmino there, or he kept on trying to go for the hat-trick when he should have done other things. So instead of giving him a 10, we give him an 8. With Mane's played the number 9 role this season. And Mane scored goals and the game's finished, and one of the first things we're seeing in the comments is Mane's finished, his passing was off, and I'm like,
that's agendas though, isn't it?
No, but here's the thing though, Drift. And we had this back and forth with the Leeds game when we beat them 3-0 when Harvey got injured. Mane scored a goal in that game, the third goal. I think I gave him a 6 for his overall rating that day, because if I'm not mistaken, I think he had something like 5 or 6 shots, and he should have had a hat-trick. And I'm like, I get he scored a goal, but if I only convert 1 out of 7 or 8 chances, I can't forget about the other chances. So it's like, for me, I don't understand where the narrative comes from, that you can't criticize a player but still not think that they're good, and you can't rate what they've done in terms of importance. Like we do it with every other player. So, and I mean, we've done it with Mane, who plays the number 9 role. So for me, the question I kind of want to ask to everyone in the comments more so is, if we don't let Mane get away with it when he plays the number 9 role, why should Jota be allowed to? And I'll ask you that as well, Drift.
That just strictly comes down to the whole new toys thing. Everyone's just got an agenda. If they don't see where Mane has a brilliant game. And obviously, I'm not talking to people who don't, but the people who do know who they are. They know who they are.
No, but I'm not talking about having a brilliant game, because I don't think Jota had a brilliant game yesterday. He scored a very vital goal. But when you look at the gameplay and you look at how you break down the stats of how he played, the fact that we're sitting there saying, how is he, like the passing, like the one out wide where that's an easy pass to make, or collecting the ball and he's losing it, or when the ball's bouncing, he tries a half volley across the pitch when he could have brought it down and then maybe done something else. It's like we're letting it go for Jota, but we're not letting it go for other players. And again,
I can only speak for myself, innit? And as I said to you yesterday,
people will say he gets clutch goals. Origi gets clutch goals as well, but we still have sat here for years saying Origi's overall game isn't good enough to play for Liverpool because he doesn't press well enough. He doesn't do this. No, but do you see what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong. I've seen some people say, oh, you know what? Jota's a horrendous footballer. That is crazy. Jota's a fantastic footballer.
That's madness. I don't know.
He's a fantastic footballer. And I'm not swapping Jota for anyone else. But I'm just saying, can we not just criticize the man without being accused of having an agenda, especially when I think there's proof in the pudding?
Well, as I said, I can only speak for myself. And with the Jota thing, as I said yesterday, the fact that he's our only number 9, with obviously Origi getting no love and he's leaving as well. So Jota effectively is the only number 9, because let's be honest, we know even when Firmino's playing there, he's not our number 9. He's got a different role to do in the job. And I truly do believe, I could be wrong, but I believe when Jota plays, Klopp actually changes slightly what he expects of that position. And I do believe that when Mane plays there, he wants it to be a little bit similar to what Bobby does and what Jota does. So what I'm looking at, and this is just me, you lot can tell me if I'm wrong, or just give me a difference of your opinion. I think Bobby plays and there's one way. I think Jota plays and there's one way. And I think Mane plays and he's a hybrid of both. And therefore, I think it depends what Klopp wants to who he plays there on the day. Do you get what I mean? So if he just wants a gunman, he plays Jota. If you want someone who's going,
no. This is the next topic. Don't go too deep into this, Drift. That's the next topic. Still.
Okay, yeah. If you want someone who comes deep, then he plays Firmino. And if you want someone who will come deep but will also make the runs in behind, the way Jota will, he'll play Mane. So I genuinely believe now he's sculpted the squad to have 3 different players to play one position in 3 different ways. So it just depends what he wants on that day for what he does of it, which is brilliant. It's a stroke of genius because especially the Mane one, we've seen him do it for Senegal, but we always thought it was a bit of a silly idea to do it for us. And for years we played Mo there instead. And we all know Mo is not good as a number 9. It doesn't work. He's done it loads of times. It just doesn't work. Mane all of a sudden has come in there. We're like, oh, rah, this actually works when Mane plays there. Like, and I think his goal return is like 1 in 2, or it's even better than that playing in the number 9. So I think with the Jota situation, because he's one of the positions out of those 3, well, I just think he plays him to just be a gunman. I personally now, I'm only going to judge him on the goals when he plays in that position. And yes, he will frustrate me if he doesn't do other stuff, like that terrible pass he did yesterday when he just needed to play it out wide. That will still infuriate me. Of course it will. It's giving away possession for a start. But I'm only going to, and again, if people agree with me, then fair enough. If people don't agree with me, then I want to know what your issue is with Jota. Because me personally, I'm only going to start judging Jota now on goals because I've realised he's in the team to be a gunman. He literally is the guy in the team to just get on the end of beautiful crosses like he did with that header against Watford. When Trent played in that beautiful cross and he got on the end of it, and that, like, those type of runs there and those type of goals, only he will do that in our team, other than Origi. But let's just forget because he's never going to get played. Jota's the only one who make those type of runs and get on the end of those type of passes. So for me, I truly believe that when he plays, Klopp is just saying, gunman. I just need you to be where you need to be and get a goal. So I'm only going to judge him. Oh, yeah, sorry, it was JAA, my bad. Yeah. I'm only going to judge him on that. How did I forget that? Big up, Ali.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was going to pick at that still. But they got to me in the comments.
So that's what I'm going to do, bro. Now, everybody's entitled to do whatever they want, and that's fair enough. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to have our own opinions and to talk about. When the disrespect starts, you get locked. People can't be disrespectful. Just like something that has been annoying me a little bit recently. It never used to bother me, but the Salah fanboys, like, they're really starting to get on my nerves. Like, they truly are, because they don't understand the hypocrisy of when they talk about, why it's like, we'll talk about Jota, for example, and they'll be like, how can you lot are some jokers. How are you giving Jota the same stat as Salah? So straight away, you made Salah have to do the comparison thing like that. Nobody was even talking about Salah. You've done it because you see anything negative about Salah and you can't take it because you're like obsessed with this.
It goes both ways. It goes both ways though, Drift, because we've seen I've personally seen people in the comments who will be like, oh, you're speaking about such and such a player. Why aren't you speaking about Salah? So it goes, but it does go.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the hypocrisy is they're the one involving Mo in the conversation, but then saying that it's the person who's putting him down when it's like, but when we judged him, we weren't even thinking about Mo. You've just got your agenda of your fanism of Mo, and you just can't handle it unless Mo's the best player on the pitch. And everybody's like, you know what I mean? And that is really slowly starting to piss me off, this fucking Salah fanboy shit. Like, if you say anything about him, you hate him, or you've got an agenda against him. Like, I mean, any criticism at all.
We are guilty of it as well here, though, Drift. I mean,
no.
Like that with Kate. You are like that with Mane, and I'm a bit
like that. But here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing.
We got to call it out, bro. We're just as guilty, bro.
No, bro. I'm not saying you can't do it a little bit for your favorite player. Everybody
we do it a lot. We do it a lot.
No, we don't. And the things that we used to do.
All of us do it, bro. Myself included.
But we're not talking about when we banter with each other or when we're doing those kind of things. I mean, if we're doing player ratings, I've never sat here in a player ratings and just because it is Origi or whatever, I'm like, no, he's a 9. He was brilliant today. I've never done that, bro. Never done that. Because I still know he didn't have that great a game. So even if I defend him a little bit, my rating will still always be reflective of the game he's had. And you can go and look at anyone you want of our player ratings, and this is to anybody, and you will never see me giving Mane, Origi, any of those players 9s and 10s and high marks when they didn't have a good game, regardless of whether I'll defend them against the attack from the people who seem to have agendas against them. So I'm not going to sit here and say we don't do it, but we don't do it in this way. Like, I don't bring Mane up if someone talks about Mo. So if someone gives Mo a mark, I don't go to people and go, but hold on a minute, talk about Mane. What about did it? What about did it? Like, it is getting on my nerves how much
But
these Salah fanboys
it's
just
not just
can't leave it alone, bro.
it's not just about the player ratings. Again, I'll use myself as an example. I'm gonna be real. There's times where I will watch a show back or I watch a game back and I'll be like, "Rah, I was really defending Robbo or I was really defending Firmino." I use Firmino in this case because I've been quite open that he's my favorite player. And I've defended Firmino and been like, "Yeah, he should have done this or should have done that." But I've watched it back and I've gone and I've seen it again. I'm like, you know what? I hold my hands up. I was kind of wrong there. He made a mistake or he was wrong. The difference with us and people in the comments, and again, I hope this doesn't come across as rude or arrogant, but we're publicly doing this, whereas they're not. So we will get clipped up. What we say will be remembered, but that's the firing line we put ourselves in. So it's one of those things.
Of course. It comes
but at the same time, bro, I'm going to be real with you. Me, you, and Matt, we say some wild things about some of our favorite players, and we do defend them blindly sometimes as well. We do.
No. And I agree with that. And I will never attack somebody else because of my love for a player. Do you get what I mean? And that's what the Ronaldo fanboys, the Messi fanboys, Salah fanboys. Nah, bro, I would never make it about my favorite player when he weren't even in the conversation. Do you get what I mean? If we're talking about somebody else, I won't make my player become part of the conversation.
We do drift, and I'll give you an example of all three of us doing it. Hendo has a bad game. Matt will jump on here and be like, you know what? Naby ain't played a stinker like that, but if he did, the whole fan base would be on him. Bruv, there's been games where bloody Jota's
no, that's different, bruv. That's different.
No, but this is what I'm saying. We still do bring them in the conversation, bro. So I get we're not as biased as I've seen some of the people in the comments, don't get me wrong, but we still do exhibit that sometimes. So I get your frustration, but it does go both ways, and it also goes both ways in a negative and a positive sense, because I see some. I do see.
I disagree, bro. I disagree, but that's fair enough. Like, obviously we all do defend our players, and it can happen from time to time. But that isn't the type of thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about when all you care about is that player, to the point where you care about that player more than the team. So if he's not playing, you wouldn't even watch the game because you just love this one guy, and you don't really give a shit about anything else. And anything about that guy that you want everybody else to see, if they don't see it, you have a problem with them. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about the type of stuff that I think everybody in the world of football does to a degree. I'm talking about, you and me could be having a conversation about Jota and Mane because both of them scored a goal today, whatever. And then afterwards, everybody will be like, that's how I know you lot hate Salah. I didn't hear Salah get spoken about once. And that be like, well, Salah didn't score. So why would he be involved in the conversation? You're so fixated on him that you just, if his name isn't heard, if he's not put in this like bubble of beautifulness, like you've got an issue with it. Why? Some days it doesn't have to be about Salah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what bothers me, bro. That's what it started to bother me anyway. Because here's the thing that pisses me off is that in general, even like with the Bobby thing, for example, when I was really getting annoyed that he wasn't scoring goals, I've openly on here admitted, you know what, I was being harsh. I take it back. And you know what? I've realized there are other things now that he does. And I also saw everybody else piling on. So I realized, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this because people are following and they're starting to pile on, and he don't deserve that. I've openly sat here and admitted that because we can all make mistakes. But what people are doing now is they're just taking this love of a one player thing and comparing it with other people too much. And I just feel like that part there is the part that needs to slow down way too much, because at the end of the day, if you're a Liverpool supporter, you would understand and you would have watched our stuff. How many times have I praised Salah, bro?
No, but you don't have
but
to.
Apparently, I hate the guy.
No,
how many times have I praised him, bro? I praise him all the time, bro. But if I say anything negative, all of a sudden I hate the guy. Like, it don't make no sense, bro.
But I get it the same with Mane. I get it the same.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. But this is what I'm saying, bro. And it doesn't make. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. How can I say 100 good things and I say 2 bad things and then I hate the guy? What? What are we talking about here? Like,
it's kind of how, like, it's not fair, but that kind of is how life goes. If you do 100 good things for someone, unfortunately, they'll remember the 2 bad things you do. It's just human nature.
It depends the type of person they are, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, but most people are like that. I have times where I can be like that. So I do, like, I'm not justifying it, but it's what we do as humans. I don't agree with it. You know, I don't. I know you love Salah, maybe not as much as some others, but I don't think there should be a barometer on how much you love a player or not. I just think it's one of those things. Like, again, look, I'm being called about tacky right now by Cat Sunday. Not to name drop you or throw you under the bus, Cat Sunday, but again, like I've said what I've said about Minamino, and I know when I mention Minamino, people are coming for my neck. So I'm at a point now where I just, like, with all due respect to people in the comments, I don't really respond in the comments and stuff like that. I know, because I just don't want to have a back and forth. I'd rather have you on a Friday, call in, and then we can have an actual conversation. Because I think a lot of the times as well, when there's text involved, I think you can't judge someone's tone. I don't think people make typos. So that's why I kind of tend to wait till a Friday. If someone wants to address something with me, then it's more of a conversation, because I can feel someone's energy and all that. So,
bro, but you know me, bro. I'm always the one who tells everybody, I just leave that, man. Don't even worry about it, because that is how I am in general. But what I don't like is when people think they can continually just keep on saying this thing and create an agenda. Because if that's what you want to do, that's when you'll bring the beast out of me. Because you don't do that. Because if I started to go around saying, you know, like, I don't know, just say, for example, there's a guy called Tom, and like I'm like, yeah, Tom cheats on his girl, you know, and everybody knows Tom doesn't cheat on his girl. But if I keep on saying it, someone else might go, yeah, he does look like a bit of a cheater, innit? And then before you know it, there's rumors going around Tom cheats on his girl. Is that a good thing? No, it's not. So even if it's wrong, even though it's not true, it's bullshit. So this whole like thing about like hating Salah, just cut the shit. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to let anybody tell me that I do something that I don't continually, to the point where now you just start seeing patterns and you're like, hold on a minute, I've got to shut some of these fucking people down, because this is some bullshit now. Like, I've let this go for like 2 years, but now it's like, hold on a minute, what, one little piece of criticism and now you want to start spreading this kind of agenda / rumor type stuff? Nah, man, sit down. You've got the agenda because of your love for him, and that blinds you, because I don't see you come in the comments and say anything about anybody else. Only Mo. That's all you ever do. You always talk about Mo. There are 26 other players in this fucking squad. Do you get what I'm saying? And where were you when Mane, if you like to do the comparison, made sure that Salah was okay? Didn't come in and say all the high praise. Yo, I've got to applaud Mane for the fact that he was so, you know, cool towards Salah's fit. Like, I don't see you doing anything that is positive towards somebody else. It's just always Salah. You know what I mean? So it's just like, come on, man. What are we doing here?
It happens. But
it does. But I just need to get it off my chest, because like it never used to bother me. But recently, I just realized it's getting a bit foolish. Anyway, back to Jota now.
So let me ask you then. Let's say, for example, Jota played yesterday, and I'm going to use yesterday as an example because I want to.
He did play yesterday, bro.
No. But say, for example, he played yesterday, and he didn't. Let's say, for example, he didn't score a goal yesterday.
Sorry, Tom just made me laugh.
Let's say he didn't score a goal yesterday, but let's say, for example, he had the second half that Mane had, but he didn't score a goal. Didn't get any assists. What rating would you have given him?
Without a goal, I would have probably given him a 7.
If he had the half that Mane had?
Because but he still had the poor first half as well, we're talking about, right?
Oh, no, I'm just talking about, let's say he played yesterday, the whole game, how Mane played in the second half. What rating would you have given him?
The whole game?
Yeah. But he didn't get
played the whole game the way Mane did in the second half. He'd get like an 8.5 or a 9, bro.
All right. So here's my thing now. Let's switch it now and say he didn't have that game yesterday. And let's say, for example, he gave the ball away 8 out of 9 times he had it. He wasn't involved, but scored a goal. What rating would you give him? And let's say, let's switch it completely. Let's say we won the game 1-0 and he got the winning goal in the 60th minute. Played the whole game, but his passing was off completely. He wasn't holding up the ball. He wasn't making good runs apart from the goal.
So basically the way he played yesterday then. Literally the way he played yesterday. Yeah. But he finished the game.
He scored the winner.
7.5.
Take away the goal. What did he get?
6.5.
So all right. So Drift, this is where it boggles my mind now. We've just said his passing was completely off. He wasn't.
No, I mean yesterday. I mean literally just had yesterday's game, but he didn't score a goal.
So for me, yesterday's game without a goal.
But it was the winning goal, you said, which would give me a bit more of a positive feeling towards the rating.
No, I hear you. But yesterday's game, if he played yesterday's game and he didn't score a goal, Surely yesterday's game without a goal, we're looking at like a 4 or 5.
I would give him a 5 without a goal. Yeah, I would give him a 5 without a goal.
So the goal, what gives him an extra 2.5?
If it was the winning goal, yeah. Which I'm openly admitting the fact it was a winning goal would give me more boosting of the rating because it was the reason why we won the game. Whichever way you look at it, I think as a goal scorer, you've got to be given that little bit of credit. If you're the striker, that you doing your job is why. Same way if Alisson made a game save in the 88th minute, top corner, absolute beauty of a strike. Alisson out of nowhere, bang, saves it round the post. We win the game 1-0. That would still, in my opinion, boost his rating up by like maybe a point or a point and a half.
But all right, but to use Alisson as an example, Drift, let's say, for example, every time Alisson got the ball, he tried to do that chop and he kept on either losing the ball or putting us in danger. Let's say every time he did, he lost the ball and Virgil or
He did that yesterday, by the way. Did you see it? I was watching the game back and I didn't even realize he did that yesterday.
But let's say he did that 3 times in the game and all 3 times Matip and Virgil saved the ball off the line for it going in. And then let's say his distribution. Now, hear me out. Let me land.
I was going to say, that is extreme foolishness.
No, it is. No, you're right.
That is extreme foolishness, bro.
But again, let's imagine every time he came out to collect the ball from a corner or something, the ball's in the air, he flapped at it, but Trent cleared it before it had a chance to get to a striker or an attacker. But let's say it's the 90th minute, we're winning the game 1-0, and he saves a penalty. What rating does he get then?
See, even though I get where you're going, you used real extreme foolishness of the example of him being bad. Because really, you should just say, like, he kept trying to play long balls into midfield, but it wasn't reaching the target and it was making the team counter attack on us. And like, say something like that, that's more of a normal mistake. If he keeps trying to do skills and shit, he's just being a dick, bro. So like,
all right, fair enough. So just use your example. Let's say every time he's trying to pass out from the back, it doesn't really get to their man. What rating is he getting?
Without the save, he'd probably get a 5.
Bruv, we would go in here and we would blast
him. No. Average. Without a save, he'd get a 5. If it was 0-0, but he was doing those little silly things, he'd get a 5, and it would be like, his kicking was terrible today, you know. But we didn't lose the game. We didn't let him go. If he makes one of them saves in the last minute, he'll probably get like a 7 because he'd be like, yo, without that save, we don't win the game. That save was unbelievable, like game-winning save. You get what I mean?
I do. But if we're going to go through the whole team, though, everyone's got a main job, but there are sub-jobs within every single footballer. So Alisson's main job is to keep the ball out the back of the net. But half the time, we don't speak about him keeping the ball out the back of the net if he's had a bad game. We think about, he's flapping at things in the air or he's doing silly things with the ball at his feet. Same with Trent. Trent's main job on the pitch, regardless of his starting position. I know people say he's a right back, so his main job's to defend. In our system, Trent's main job is to create, and he does that better than anyone else in his position in world football. But we'll jump on here and be like, you know what? Flipping defensively today, Trent was a madness. Robbo, again, his main job is to create. If he gets done defensively, we come on here and we rip him. Virgil and Matip, their main job is to make sure the defense, the goalkeeper doesn't have to save as many things as we'd want. If they do other things like Virgil's passing yesterday wasn't on, Matip coming forward with the ball wasn't really happening. We critique those things. Flacco, main job is to stop the ball getting to the defense. If he does that by his passings off, we get on his passing. Hendo, main job is to protect Trent when Trent goes forward. But if Hendo does that, but his passing's off or his creativity is not good, or he doesn't shoot on the edge of the box, we get onto him. And we could go through all the players. So my thing is, every player's got a job, but it's the overall game, right? And if that's the case, how, like, are we literally saying Jota's above an 8 if he scores a goal, and if he doesn't, is he below it automatically then? Because if we're judging them on their job, if he doesn't score a goal, then and has a good game, can we not give him a good rating?
Well, same as like what I was saying yesterday, bro. And again, if people don't agree with me, that's fine. And And it's starting to make me realise that I think what would be brilliant for us to do from next season moving forward is come up with an actual system for player rating. So we're not doing it emotionally. We're actually doing it based on like,
It'll always be emotional.
No. But if we come up with a system which between now and then we can come up with where there's criteria to the grading, then the majority of the time the grading can't really be questioned. I don't know how we'd do that, but do you get where I'm coming from? Like, let's come up with like a little bit of a criteria for what is what and how's how, and then that will go into the ratings. Because again, when you're doing a player rating 20 minutes after a game's finished, you're full of adrenaline, emotion, and whatnot, and you probably would look back on a lot of the player ratings afterwards and change them. Do you know what I mean? You probably would. But with regards to the Jota situation, and again, if people disagree with me, then that's completely fine because I'm not sitting there saying this is fact. I'm saying this is my opinion based on the way the system is. I think there's only 2 positions on the pitch where it's irrelevant whether you help with all the other stuff. Striker, goalkeeper. I think those 2 positions, it's just about whether you do your job. Literally, it's just about whether you do your job. Yes, if you do other parts of the game, it is fantastic. If you can pass like Ederson, out of this world as a goalkeeper. If you can drop deep and link up play like Harry Kane, oh my days, that's why you're one of the best players, if not the best striker in the world. But if we're just talking about fundamentals, for me, goalkeeper, did the ball go in the net? Yes or no? Striker, did you put the ball in the net? Yes or no? And then everything else in the middle is what makes a team a team. So again, that's just my opinion. So Alisson will always, for me, if he keeps a clean sheet, I can be frustrated and annoyed at some other stuff. Did he let in any goals? No, bang. Okay, so straight away he did his job and all the other stuff is just a formality. And the same with Jota. Like that's just how I feel, bro, personally. Especially the way Jota is. Because I think we got so caught up in the Bobby thing for 4 years, we've forgotten what the fucking role of a striker is at Liverpool because we're so obsessed with how brilliant Bobby was at doing it all. Bro, a striker's job is just to put the ball in the fucking net, bro. That is it. For 100 years of football, being a striker just meant put the ball in the net. Fuck everything else, bro. Put the ball in the back of the net.
But if that's the case, then Drift, then Trent's not doing his job then, because
but he's one of the other players that's got a different role, and it is different, bro. That's why I say he's not a goalie or a striker.
But this is what I'm saying, Drift. Like, surely modern football means that the whole of modern football is moved on, bro. It can't just be 8 or 9 positions on the pitch.
Fundamentals will always be the same, Cal. Did you let in a goal? Did you score a goal? Literally, that'll always be the same, bro.
Fundamentals doesn't mean you don't have to change how you view things, though, because fundamentally, passing's passing, right? So everyone should be judged on passing ability, because without passing, you don't score goals. It's nigh on impossible to score goals if you're not passing.
Yeah, but there's so many tangibles within passing, though.
But that's my point, though. There's so
Did the ball cross the line? No tangibles, bro. Did it cross it or didn't it? Like,
no, but all right, but Drift, here's the thing then. So if we're gonna do that, should it not be complexity of what's happening then? Because with all due respect, if Ali doesn't we come on here and say if Ali doesn't concede a goal but doesn't have a lot of saves to make, we don't give him a high rating, because you turn around and say he has to pull off a couple of worldies to get like the 9s or 10s.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. That backs me up, because the main aim of him as a goalie is to show how good he was at stopping the ball going in the net. So if he didn't have to make a save, then I'm like, well, fundamentally, there isn't that much to judge you on what your job was.
No, but here's the thing, though, Drift. If every time the ball goes in the air and we're playing against a Burnley, he comes out and collects and makes himself knowing that you're not going to just throw the ball in the air without me coming to grab it, that has to be spoken about.
Of course.
If Ali gets an assist from a goal,
I would still say that's part of stopping the ball going in the back of the net. So if he comes and catches across, because even though it's not a shot on goal, that action is still, it was going to be a shot on goal. So I would still consider that a part of saving, if you get what I mean.
That's fair. But again, we will sit here and we'll laud him over the assist he did for Salah against Norwich, right? And we'll bump him up, but that's not his job.
Oh, but that's a bonus, though. That's why.
No, but this is my point, no, Drift. If we're going to look at just the fundamentals, then De Gea's still got to be in the conversation as well. De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the league. Then if we're looking at the
Bro, you know what I say though, bro? This is what I'm saying. De Gea is the best goalie in the league. I always say that, bro.
But you've also said you wouldn't swap him for Alisson because Alisson does so much more.
Yeah, and I think it's only little anyway in terms of shot stopping.
No, because distribution, Command
No,
of
I mean
area.
their ability. I mean, Alisson and De Gea shot stopping, and plus I'm looking at De Gea across a much longer period. Like he's
No,
been
but if
doing
we're
this for
talking,
like eight, 9 years now, isn't it?
but if we talk about right now, even shot
Mm,
stopping, I'd arguably say De Gea is better at shot stopping. But in terms of
mm,
one-on-ones and spreading yourself to ensure the striker don't score, I'm giving that
mm,
to Ali. Distribution's not even close. Command of
mm,
area is not even close. Sweeping's not even close.
mm,
So De Gea does the quote-unquote shot stopping better than
mm.
Alisson, but everything else, Alisson's better than.
Yeah.
So,
So I
but
won't
that,
argue with you if you think Alisson's better.
so
I
that's
won't
what
argue with you at all.
So that's what I mean where football's moved on. So yeah, you can have your strikers who just stick the ball in the back of the net, but even the likes of Vardy, they do more than just that. And again, Jota does more than just that, which is why I was so perplexed as to why people were getting onto me and other people in the comments who are like, but he scored a goal. What's your problem? Because we've seen games where Jota bads up a defender. We've seen games where Jota brings the ball down, will dribble past a couple, man. We've seen games where Jota will get the ball against Arsenal, and instead of snatching at the shot, he drops the shoulder once, he sends flipping Ramsdale to the beach, and then he sticks in the back of the net. We've seen Jota do this, so we know he can do this. So why can't we critique him when he doesn't do it, despite him scoring a goal?
I'm not saying you can't.
No, I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying in general. Like,
Here's to put a little bit of context to this as well. Me personally, I'm struggling to understand where people may be having a bit of an issue with it when, even though I'm saying what my criteria is, I'm still not sitting here giving a man 9s and 10s. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm still only giving him 6s and 7s and stuff. I'm just letting people know by a point or a point and a half, I'm going to give him a boost up on the overall performance based on the fact that he still did his job. So I don't get what people's issue would be with that. If I just kept sitting and giving him a 9 because he scored, then I would completely understand people coming and be like, Jeff, what are you talking about? He was no way a 9 today. Then I would get it. But I'm giving him a 5, but then bumping up to a 6.5 because he scored a brilliant goal. I think that is just completely logical. Do you get what I mean? So again, if people have an issue with me doing that, I find that a bit weird because I'm not sitting there giving a man 9s. I'm still giving him low marks. I'm just bumping him up because he did what his job was, to put the ball in the back of the net. And we all sat here and moaned when Bobby couldn't do it.
Yeah.
All of us moaning. And now we got someone who does it. Now we're asking him to be Bobby. But what are we doing?
See, that's where I get annoyed with people who ask for Jota to try and be like Bobby, because that for me is a no-no. You don't expect him to be another player. But what I do expect, Drift, are the fundamentals and the basics, though. And if we're not getting that, then we have a right to be a little frustrated despite him scoring the goals. And again, people will say it's nitpicking, etc. But if we're watching a 90-minute game and Matt's able to bring up a stat showing that out of the 8 passes he made, only 4 of them went to the man, and a lot of the passes weren't of difficulty, then in the same way, someone will turn around and say, but he's got 15 goals this season. Why is it my stat is disregarded, but your stat should be brought up? For me, there's so much hypocrisy from both. It's not just from my point of view. From both sides, there's so much hypocrisy. For me, it's like there needs to be a middle ground, and I don't feel as though we're getting to a middle ground when it comes to Jota.
Maybe. I mean, I tell you, and obviously I'm not calling you out on this, but yesterday it was something where we had a back and forward on. I think you were very discarded of how well he pressed yesterday. And I think if you go back and watch it, you'll see how right it was. His pressing was brilliant yesterday, bro. So even though his overall game wasn't that great, bro, his pressing was. He was doing a lot of good pressing yesterday, which is another point of what that role is, right? Of what Bobby was so good at. And there was 1 or 2 moments that he caused problems within their defense by getting them, like, you know, worried or whatever from his pressing, bro. And if you actually watch it back, sorry, Salah boys, Mo was actually the one who did the least pressing in the first half. And there was a good few examples of some of those through balls being Mo dropping off instead of joining Mane and Jota in the press and leaving Bernardo, especially and Cancelo, with a lot of free time to keep playing those passes. Now, I'm not calling Salah out on that. I'm just saying that's just an example of Salah wasn't pressing as well as Jota yesterday. Like he wasn't. So Salah had a better game than Jota, but Jota was pressing better than him, though. So again, I think Jota's pressing is going under the radar, bro. Like I think it is.
this is a whole nother conversation. But even pressing, again, it depends what you class as pressing, because I think people's idea of pressing is you're just running towards the ball.
No, he does it intelligently, bro. He does it intelligently.
Again,
he cuts the angles with his press. He's not just running around like a headless chicken.
I personally don't think Jota pressed great yesterday. I thought he was okay with his pressing, but I don't think he was brilliant. I don't think he was great. I thought he was just okay with his pressing. Like, for me, it wasn't amazing. It was just okay. I personally do think Salah and Mane press better, because from what I saw,
if you go and watch it back, you'll see that Jota was the better of the three in terms of pressing.
I watched it
especially in the first half. He was much better at pressing than Mane and Salah in the first half yesterday.
I disagree. I do disagree. But look,
even after watching the game back, that surprises me still, because I watched it back and I was even more impressed with Jota's pressing when I watched it.
I'll be honest, after watching the game back, his performance frustrated me even more. And like, I could have done the whole getting screenshots and short videos, but look, he's one of our players, isn't it? I love Jota, and I ain't gonna ever throw him under the bus, especially creating little videos to put out there on the internet so rival fans can jump on it. But watching the game back, it frustrated me even more, because I know how sick the boy is. Like, he's sick. Jota is sick.
I'm surprised you said that after watching it back, still, because I was impressed with his pressing after I watched it back.
Fair dues. But look, people, for you guys in the comments to chop it up, gonna get through some of these super chats before we go into the next topic. Jamrock says starting 2 caliber centre midfielders need to be brought this summer.
I'm starting to agree with that a bit, bro.
2 starters is hard. I think
I'm starting to agree with it, bro. I am.
I think 1 starter and 1 knocking on the door, I think it'd be more realistic. But I think we do need 2 centre midfielders. Jamrock, just confirm, is that with or without Carvalho as well? Just let me know, Jamrock. Elisa says he should have done the Everton finish drifty. That Everton goal Jota scored we ain't gonna see it very often.
He should have done it. Oh, what you mean for the one I was saying when he let it come across him? But I think he would have been better if he just shot with his right foot.
That's asking for a lot still. Like, Bergkamp only did that Newcastle goal once, didn't it? That's asking for a lot. Pete Al says if Klopp wanted someone else, he would play Firmino. And if you say he might want someone more attacking, but still false 9, then he would play Mane. No, I agree. I know what Klopp wanted that front three yesterday. It still doesn't necessarily mean he had a good game. And I'm not questioning Klopp, but players can still have a bad game even if Klopp picks them. Troy M says if Klopp made subs earlier and maybe with 5 next season he'll start, I'd have Jota as the perfect 60-minute sub to play through the middle or left, or be starting replacement in both spots. That's another conversation we could have as well.
Not all the time. I think there'll be plenty of games where he deserves to start, but I get kind of what he means though.
Yeah. Eastwood says Diaz, Mane, Mo should be our starters. Jota and Bobby should be used as subs as the match dictates. #remove. I
get the logic behind that as well.
Bajan Barnes says, fellas, big up as always and blessed to you and your families. Blessed up, Bajan Barnes. I'm a big Mo fan. However, we have to deep up, and he has to be dropped off statistic. And he has dropped off statistically since the start of the new year. We need him to find form fast. I completely agree with that. Foot LFC says you can't please the Salah fanboys drift. It's 100% positive. They ain't happy. I wonder, do they support Liverpool or Salah? Yeah, I wonder that sometimes with some.
That's what I'm saying. And again, I'm not going to talk about it again because I don't want to give it any more light. But I do believe they're Salah fans, not Liverpool fans. And that's why they just, if you don't say anything positive about Salah, they just attack you for it. Like,
I mean, it's a problem like Man United fans have, PSG fans have, Barcelona fans have. Yeah. Again,
I'm old school, innit? I'm old school. I understand having your favourites, of course, but to support a player more than you support the team feels weird. So, but it's the new school way of doing it, I guess. I don't know.
Ason says, Cowbuck, Jota has been a poacher. Link up is less. In some games, he's been a poacher. Other games, like yesterday, he was involved in the game, but just not in a positive way. Again, just my humble opinion. Liverpool 12th man says rating should be a combo of doing role/job and impact. Yeah, we need to you're right, Drift. I do like the idea of really getting and chopping up the ratings and actually having like criteria
I
to
think
judge
you could actually make it really fun as well. If we can find a real way to do it on a rating system,
Yeah.
points given for like points for an assist, points for goal, and not even do it out of 10. Literally just start doing the ratings based on points accumulated from whatever points are given for a certain role. Like even little things like, and guys, you can help us come up with this. Like, if you complete more than 5 interceptions in a game, a bonus. But like little things we can actually do that can actually get us a way to like statistically as well as eye test, put a little thing together on how we do the ratings. That would actually be quite cool.
Crypto Nation says, Drift, you said if Jota scores, he's done his job. So what if Jota's horrible pass on the left ends up as a Man City goal? If Jota squares it to Mo, we win.
If he directly gives the ball away and then they score a goal, then yeah, he'll be judged for that. He would be judged for that if that happened.
But what about also the second question, him not squaring it to Mo when Mo could have potentially had a tap in as well?
What, did that actually happen, or is he just giving me a scenario?
No, that happened in the game when he went through, when he had his one-on-one, not the one where he stretched for it, the one-on-one, he could have squared it to Mo, but he shot and Edison saved it.
I'm trying to, when did that happen? Was that first half or second half?
Second half.
I don't even remember that. So my mind's gone blank. I don't even remember that. But yeah, fair enough. He definitely should have passed it, 100%. I don't know about saying I will mark him down for that, but I would definitely be on him like, Rob, Mo would have had a tap in. Why didn't you pass? I don't know if I'd mark him down though. I think it's a bit harsh to mark somebody down for not passing the ball, but I definitely would critique him for it. Yeah.
Fair dues. Foot FC says, what if a player has a terrible game but bangs a hat-trick and we win the game 3-2? How would we then rate that player? Scoring changes everything. That's our tough one. Hat-tricks are slightly different thing, because you had 3 massive moments in a game as opposed to 1. But again, we've seen, all right, so here's a prime example. If I'm not mistaken, the Watford game at the beginning of the season, right, where Bobby scored a hat-trick. Bobby got a hat-trick, but to be fair, Bobby had a good all-round game that day. But he wasn't the man of the match that day. Salah was. Because Salah did everything that day. He created a goal for Mane. He scored a worldie himself and had Danny Rose on toast throughout the whole game. So even though the goals did mean stuff in that game because we won the game 5-0, Bobby got the majority of the goals, we still all came away from it in abundance saying Salah was man of the match. So,
which exactly proves the point that I'm trying to make, that I don't go over the top saying the striker did his job, because yeah, you're right. Mo definitely won man of the match in that game, and Bobby got a hat-trick. I'm just saying you give extra credit to the striker for doing his job. That's what I'm saying. Do you get what I mean? But you're right, Bobby. I think Bobby got like an 8.5, and Mo got like a 10 or something in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bear me one sec. I think I might have just.
And obviously, the degree of difficulty for that hat-trick would also come into play. If literally it was 3, like say it was 3 penalties, he's not going to get the same as like a wonderful header, a left foot volley, and do you know what I mean? Like, so obviously the degree of difficulty within the hat-trick would also come into it as well.
Eastwood says Jota's pressing will improve. Remember when Bobby first started pressing, he was second to Lallana. Jota will get better at pressing. Oh, look, this conversation has no bearing, in my opinion, to do with Jota and his future at Liverpool. Like, the guy will continue to be a star for us. It was just that one game where I think we need to talk about his performance.
And not that anybody called him a one-season wonder, but how brilliant is it that 2 seasons in a row he's actually getting better and better, proving that it wasn't even a fluke.
Fans are still saying Salah's overrated. Like, it is what it is. They'll cling to anything, innit? Dean says, hola, gents. Diaz is the best of all of our attackers when it comes to knowing what to do with the ball. He should have started the game, in my opinion. Salah hasn't been himself.
I don't know if I'd agree with that.
I think Diaz needs a bit more time to prove that.
I would say that is Bobby or Salah, who is best at knowing what to do with the ball. Diaz is brilliant at it. I don't know if I say he's better than Bobby and Mo, though.
Insomnia says, need City to beat Atletico for a chance this Prem. I'll be honest, I think we kind of do need them to go through. I think
but then that means they're going to get to the final, which is the thing that pisses me off, bro.
Well, if it is what it is, it is what
I
it
don't
is.
want to have to play them ever again, bro. So if we get to the final, then I don't want a Man City Liverpool Champions League final. I don't need that fucking stress in my life, bro. I really don't.
Fine. I'm alright with it. Guys, before we go into the next
Are you
topic,
really, bro? I think we're gonna have to talk about that for 5 minutes. This, like, how many times you got to fucking play this team? Are you really all right with it? Is it not bothering you that, like,
No,
they're just so jarring and they won't just go away?
But if we want to win the trophies, we've got to do it. Like, we've got to win. We've got to beat who's in front of us, bro.
No, I hear that, but I don't want to play them anymore. I'm sick of the sight of them, bro.
Fair dues. Guys, before we go on to the next topic, though, just want to show you guys a trailer for the video that's coming up after this show, the viewers review. Sit back and watch, people.
I believe all the way through the game that at no point we were even, I'd say, in the game, because the reason for this is I feel that we played City's game. They played their possession football and we didn't play our gegenpress.
It's kind of funny because isn't that how the Anfield game ended? Similarly, where De Bruyne took a shot and then it hit nothing. So, you know, the game began as the game kind of left off.
I want to throw a challenge out to other people that have never done a review show. We're up to 25 or 24,000 subscribers on Kop-Ish. We should be getting at least, 24. This is at 0.1% of us. So this is my challenge. If you've never done a Beers review show, hashtag you won.
Make sure you check that out, coming out after this show finishes, people. Right.
Big up everyone who got them in as well. Everybody wasn't obviously in that trailer, so big up everyone. But I really appreciate everybody starting to get the reviews in nice and early now, so I'm not having to wait so long to be able to put it out. So big up everyone.
Indeed. And also, guys, it's your way of expressing how you feel about the game. Like, obviously, we love you guys saying what you say in the comments and contributing in the comments and all that. But you guys have a platform. We've given you a platform where you can just send in how you feel. And look, it gives us stuff to think about as well, because you guys see things from a different perspective. So please do get your viewers reviewing after games, man, because we look forward to watching them and hearing your thoughts as well as sharing them with you guys as well. But let's move on to topic 2, people. Right, moving on from Jota, but kind of staying with Jota. Who is currently the best player? Or in fact, I'm going to rephrase it. Champions League final is tomorrow. Everyone's fit. You've got Salah on the right, Diaz on the left. Who is your starting number 9, Drift?
Mane.
This is crazy, isn't it?
He's the hybrid.
But if you had said to me a couple months ago, again, shout out to Chris Brack, who I know he's going to get in the comments when he sees me say this and he's going to rip me. If you'd said to me 2-3 months ago, in April, Cal, you're going to sit there and you're going to want Mane to be your starting number 9, I'd have said, do me a favor, please. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. Know what I'm saying? But I have to go with Mane. Like, you see that yesterday when he moved into the middle. And look, more so me and Matt was screaming for Klopp to take off Jota and put Mane through the middle and bring on Diaz. Not because Jota's rubbish, but just because of how the game was going. You see yesterday when Mane moved to the middle, it was a different game. Their defense couldn't deal with him. And when he got moved into the middle, he didn't score, he didn't assist. But he absolutely had their defense on toast. But at the same time, and here's the killer now. If it's a Champions League final and the ball drops to someone in the box, who do you want on the end of it? It's Jota.
Jota. It is Jota. It actually is Jota. Especially if it's a cross.
So I'm going to be real with you. And look, again, everyone knows me. I love Bobby. Right now, it's between Mane and Jota. And I don't know who I'd pick. That's me being completely honest. And obviously, that's the reason Klopp gets the big money. That's why he's the best manager in the world, because he will 9 times out of 10 make the right decision. But bro, you could start Jota, he could stink up the place, or you could start Mane. He could have a great game but miss an easy chance. Jota might score that easy. Like, it's so difficult. It's so difficult. Does it depend on your position though, Drift, or is it just a case of
yeah. I think yeah. I definitely think you have to take context into it. And you would have to look at whether it was a team that likes to play on the edge of their box, whether it's a team who plays a high line, whether it's a team that plays on the edge of their 6-yard box. You'd really have to look, because I think Jota's the best at finding space between the lines of a deep lying team. So if it was a team like a Burnley, for example, that was going to play very deep on the edge of their 6-yard box, so to speak, I think Jota would find more space in the box to score goals. So I would actually go with Jota over Mane in a situation like that. Whereas if you're playing against the Real Madrid, for an example, Mane is going to have a field day with the space they're going to give him. And Jota may be a little less effective in that scenario. So I definitely think you've got to put context into it. You've got to look at the opposition and you've got to figure out the right, if you've got a screwdriver and there's a screw that you need to put in the wall and you've got a Phillips, but you need a flathead, it's still a screwdriver, right? And you might even be able to, with a flathead, maybe put the Phillips screw in the wall, but you might as well just go and get a Phillips screwdriver. It's just going to make it easier. So it's tools for the job, innit? Do you know what I mean?
That's a good way of putting it, Drift. Clay here have a really good comment, actually. Something we've never actually thought about. Jota on the left and Mane through the middle. Could that work? We've seen it the other way around.
We did it for like 10 minutes yesterday. Do you remember when I said to you, look, when you lot were saying put Mane in the middle, and I was saying I was worried it might affect his game because he was playing so well.
I don't think it was 10 minutes, Drift. I think it was just
about 5 minutes, because it was, about 5 minutes leading up to the substitution, and Mane went down the middle. So we got a 5-minute snippet of it yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Could it work? I don't know if Jota wouldn't keep occupying space that is needed for Mane, because even when Jota plays left, he still continually likes to make the central runs. So he might keep bumping into Mane. I think Jota left works when Bobby plays, because Bobby will do the drop in and Mane and Jota fills the space. Mane likes to get on the end of the passes, so they start occupying the same space. I don't know whether that would work. I'm not saying it can't work. I don't know if it would work.
Fair dues. It's a tough one, man. It really is. I think it is between Mane and Jota. It's just, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Bobby's still got a role to play.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm saying if just for the sake of this convo, if it's Champions League final, who am I playing? It would be Mane or Jota. But you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because both of those have skills that the other doesn't have. For example, like Mane's got way better hold-up play and can turn a man better than Jota, but Jota's finishing for me is way ahead of Mane. So it's like
this version of Mane, yeah.
Yeah. And just his instinct in and around the box is crazy as well.
It's his like, movement, Cal. Jota's movement is so good. Like mad. I think a lot of people, maybe I appreciate it more because I was a striker myself. I think and I don't even mean this disrespectfully to anybody, but I think movement of a forward goes over people's head, and they just see the player in a position to score the goal and just assume he's just there. And I think if they go back and watch it, they'll realize, like yesterday, and I think it was Match of the Day that might have done it as well. So big up to them for even pointing it out as well. Everybody made a forward run when Jota scored the goal. Everybody, because they're like trying to get on the end of the cross and just be like, as close to the moment. And Jota was the only one who thought, well, if everybody's doing that, I'm just going to hang back here because the ball might like fall into space. And literally that allowed everyone to run past Jota, including all the City players. And then this is why Trent is such a genius with his passing as well. He was able to just see Jota just there by himself, bro, and pick him out with the pullback. Now, really and truthfully, most players in the world that aren't strikers would do what everyone else did and just follow the ball. But strikers know they switch on. And that's why he pulled back and thought, what's the point of us all going over there? And he just pulled back, bang, he's in space to score the goal. And it's the movement of strikers. And Jota's just got that movement. His movement is so good, man.
It's more, I think it's timing as well. We speak about his like movement, but he knows when to make a run. He knows when to jump for the ball when the ball's in the air. Like that's just not coincidence. That's years of honing your craft. And for him being fight, it's like we see it with Fowler. Fowler weren't no giant. You see when the ball went in the air, Fowler, you knew something was coming because Fowler he knows how to time his jump. Where to the point where people are like, oh, he must be taller than we think he is, but he's not. He just knows how to time his jump. Thiago's a great example of that. Thiago's 5'8", 5'9". Rarely do we see him get beat in the air because he just knows when to time his jump. And that for me is what Jota's got. His timing, his ability to read situations, special. Absolutely.
Can I say
special.
something, bro? And this is going to really hurt me to say it, yeah? But you just said something I'm going to forget. What yesterday's game showed me, and again, maybe I'm just being like a little bit harsh based on the fact that it was literally elite opposition we were playing. But what yesterday showed me is as sensational of a baller as Thiago is, and you know I rate him as the best if we're talking about form and ability both being at its best, right?
Yeah.
What yesterday showed me though, bro, is without a destroyer, don't play Thiago, because you don't give him the protection to allow him to do what makes him, the reason he's there. And then you also make him have to do uncharacteristic things that are why, like, he can give away fouls and get over aggressive and is forced into doing things that just doesn't come naturally to him. And yesterday, I think even I had to realize that. And I adore the guy. But you see, yesterday, because Flacco was playing poor, it really affected Thiago's ability to be who he is. So I believe that Thiago, without a destroyer next to him, is a little bit of a bad idea.
I completely disagree. I'm going to be honest.
That's fair enough. I just didn't like how Thiago had to change his game because Fabinho was playing so badly and he was doing uncharacteristic things. Don't get me wrong, Hendo's playing bad as well. So he was in the middle with two players who weren't playing well. Yeah. But when Thiago has to start chasing and diving into tackles and doing that type of stuff, I'm not saying he's not capable of, but he's completely out of what he's there for. Like, he should be on the pitch and the other two should create a bubble around him. And he should literally just be allowed to do what he's good at while the other two just completely shield him. A little bit like when the quarterback's got the ball in NFL and the blockers and everybody stops people getting to him so he can just pick his passes. Well, that's when Thiago's being forced to get involved in the other stuff, I don't like it, bro. I've got to be honest. Like, I don't like it.
But then isn't that the fault of Hendo and Fabinho yesterday then, bro?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, but
I'm not blaming Thiago. I'm just saying yesterday I realised. So what I'm saying is, for example, say, God forbid, Flacco was injured and Hendo was suspended. You see, if like you said, oh, we can just like play Naby and Ox and Thiago.
Oh, God, no. No.
No way, bro. No. I'd be like, no, I'll be screaming for the rooftops. No, because nobody is going to be protecting Thiago in that midfield. And it's going to get messy. It's going to get stupid. Like, nobody. Like, so I don't know. So do you get what I mean? Like I feel like he's got to have that protection around him. Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, shout out to KG Vision. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. Did Henderson play yesterday? I thought his role was a celebration hype man only times I saw him. It's funny, like, isn't it? Lee start packing teams in KG's back in full stone cold mode, isn't it? But big up
KG, just make sure you start packing in Man City, yeah? That's all we need, bro.
KG,
I need some of that. I need some of them Jack Harrison specials, bro. That's what I want to do, bro.
Also, KG, what's the status of Ronaldo's criminal investigation to him smashing someone's phone? But we move. I want to see your defenses, KG. I want to see what your defense is for that. Also,
can I just say something about, because you just brought it up? Here's the joke. He smashed the kid's phone, yeah? And then he said, I'm sorry. I'll give you, look, you and your family or whatever, you can come to a game. Ronaldo, that's punishment.
Yeah, of course it is.
You're bringing him to watch that trash. You're taking the piss, bro. You smash his phone, then you want to smash his vision. What are we doing it?
Yeah,
like, that's some joke thing.
What I will say is, though, I wouldn't go overboard with it just because it's Ronaldo. Just buy the kid a new phone, innit? Like, that, it doesn't need to go much further.
Yeah. Forget the fact that it's Ronaldo. It was just a dick move, and he should just buy him. He should, he should buy him more than a phone. I'm going to be honest with you. No, but because he embarrassed the guy, and it's the inconvenience of the situation as well. So he should do another gesture as well as buy him a new phone. Because
this comes to the whole celebrity thing. Drift, if I break someone's phone, all I'm doing is buying their phone back, bro. I ain't gonna send them up to the shard and all this, bro.
No. But there are circumstances where your position does count. You can't afford to do more than buy a phone. Fair enough, you buy back the phone. But if you can, then you do a little extra something to say sorry, because it was a really bad mind thing that he did, bro.
I don't think he should be obliged to. If he does it out of his kindness, then fair enough. I don't think
not obliged to, but he should do. Like him within himself should feel like, right, I took liberties. I want to do more to say sorry.
I don't know. Big shout out to Goonally.
Smashed up someone else's thing, bro. That's bad, man.
Big shout out to Goonally, aka Learning Lee, aka ex-Liverpool Lee in the building as well. We see you on AFTV and that with Turkish.
Big move. Come on.
I'm not gonna lie, I did smile when I saw you in there, but I smiled even more when you guys lost. So it was double whammy for me. But now, big up yourself, Lee, man, and keep on doing great stuff, bro. All right, we're on to our final topic now, Drew.
Hold on a minute. I just found out. If you're telling the truth here, Madonna, it was an Everton fan whose phone got smashed. Ronaldo, just tell him you're sorry and keep it pushing.
Right, let's move on to the first. This is ruthless. Right.
Either that or just tell him you was demonstrating their Everton season. Yeah, sorry.
Smash. I'm going to smash your phone. Henderson and Naby Keita.
Oh, this show's just getting more and more emotional, isn't it?
I know. The ever-growing debate between these two players. Should it be Hendo? Should it be Naby? Should it be Naby? Should it be Hendo?
Sorry.
1 week is Hendo, 1 week is Naby. And this goes back to Jamrock as well. I don't know if Jamrock's still in the chat, but this goes back to Jamrock's point and where you're saying you're starting to see it about getting two starting midfielders. Is the fact that we're having a debate about two players, and again, I'm going to be as blunt as possible here without saying and again, I'm going to caveat because I know what people can be like, I rate both players. But is it not the issue that we're having an argument over two inconsistent midfielders as opposed to we need someone who can stamp that position down? Because let's be honest, you could arguably say in the team up until the forward line, everyone else is a guaranteed starter almost. And that's not because the players behind them are rubbish. It's just that they've stamped their authority on their positions. Ali, undeniable. Trent, Matip, Virgil, Robbo, undeniable. Thiago, Fabinho, barring yesterday's performance, undeniable. But then you get to the right-hand side of centre midfield. Is it Naby? Is it Hendo? Elliott shouts at the beginning of the season. Is it a case of we kind of need to stop having this debate? They've got to kind of swap the games around between the two of them, and we, in the summer, have to absolutely go and get a nailed-on starter for that right-hand side, Drift.
Okay. You're not forcing me to hurt my heart, but here we go.
I do it, bro. I do it every time.
No, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. All right. I am in no way, shape, or form saying he's anywhere near like done or don't want him here or any of that crap, because everybody who goes that far isn't listening to what I'm saying. And everybody knows Hendo is my guy. Yeah, that's my fucking captain. But what I am willing to accept, and this season has really brought it home, is even though I'm a big advocate for age not necessarily being an issue until you get to a certain age. Like once you get to like 35, 36, you've got to start talking about your age. But when you're like 30, 31, like I don't really think you should be talking about your age. But as we always say, Cal, context has to be given. And if you get injuries on a regular basis and you have hella mileage, those are contributing factors to possibly performances being affected. And what I've noticed with Hendo this season is I think if he's given a rest, he's brilliant. If he plays consecutive games, his form dips dramatically. And I think that's because physically, maybe he just doesn't have the ability now to play week in, week out. And that's me coming to that realization. As one of Hendo's biggest defenders, as I said, I'm still a Liverpool fan first. So I've got to point out things that I'm seeing. I'm not going to just defend him for no reason. I do believe if you get Henderson every other game or every couple games, you get brilliant performances out of him because he'll have all the energy and he'll be good to go. If you try and rinse him and play him 3, 4, 5 games in a row, I think you'll start watching the performances drop off as he gets more tired, especially that we played 2 games in a row in a week, sir. If we were in an Arsenal situation, say it was just weekend to weekend, he'd be fine, I reckon. But when you got the Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, and you're just constantly doing that, and especially that we've been in all the cup competitions, which is probably even more highlighted, even more football this season, I'm starting to believe that at 32 years old, we've got to be very sparing with how we use Henderson. So his influence off the bench, maybe, or his influence in the dressing room is unprecedented. But in terms of playing week in, week out, even I'm at the point now where I'm like, no, I don't think Hendo can be a starting midfielder week in, week out from next season onwards. And he's definitely got his role to play, and he'll definitely play a pivotal role in everything. But I think with Naby's injury record and proving he can't necessarily play week in, week out, and Henderson, I think those two need to become the players who come in and do what's necessary where it's necessary. And I believe that the starting midfield should be Thiago, Fabinho, and somebody else who is hella athletic. Hella athletic. I mean, Kante athletic. I don't know what his role will be in the team or what his attributes will be around his athleticism, but I believe we need somebody with that level of athleticism to go into the midfield now. Coupled with the fact that Thiago won't play every week either. Do you know what I'm saying? Coupled with the fact that we're bringing in Carvalho, so there may be the odd games where we're going to go a bit more attacking, then Carvalho can play. And to be fair as well, Carvalho actually has the legs and the athleticism to actually be one of those guys in the midfield because, like, not only because he's young, but if you see him, like, he's a bundle of energy. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but so maybe 2 might be over the top with Carvalho coming in. If you include Carvalho, then yeah, I agree too. If you're saying on top of Carvalho, then maybe that's a bit too much. But we need hella athleticism in the midfield with Thiago and Fabinho because the 2 of them together probably would take about 32 seconds to finish 100 meters. Like, there's no pace, bro. There's no pace. There's finesse, there's sauce, there's all the beautiful...
Don't do 32 seconds, but that's a lot. But that's what Stevie would run it in, bro.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro, like, the sauce is there with them two. The elegance, all that, it's second to none. But we're talking about pace, bro. Those 2 next to each other, oh my God, bro. There's no pace in our midfield, bro. There's no pace in our midfield. Oh, cow, there's no pace in our midfield, bro. Like, wow. Like, you better have the ball the whole time, bro. And I think yesterday's game, and again, you don't play City every week, innit? You really don't. But yesterday's game, when we didn't have the ball that much, it was like, raw, boy, this is tough to watch still. These man, like De Bruyne ran away from Fabinho yesterday like it was you running away from Stevie, bro. It was like, what am I watching?
I'm not gonna lie, Stevie's kind of rapid still.
And KDB's not even rapid. He's quick, but he's not rapid. He shouldn't just be dusting off your DM like that. And maybe it was because Flacco had a bad game. I don't know, but like, man, it was tough to watch the midfield and the lack of athleticism yesterday, man. It really was. Like, it really was, bruv. I can't even lie.
All right. So here it is now then, Drift. So obviously, you know, I'm the homegrown policeman when it comes to squads. Oh, God, here we go. I'm going to be real with you. I know I'm going to get blasted for this opinion. I know it won't even come to fruition because of the price. You see Declan Rice, yeah? That brother would be the business for us. But I know it can't happen. He can play 6 and 8. That's all I'm saying. And he's sick. That's all I'm saying. He'd be the business for us.
I still don't know if he's got the athleticism I need, though.
Oh, he has, bruv.
He's athletic, but I need a midfielder who's quicker than that, bro.
Jamrock straight away was like, nah. Jamrock shied that. I know it's going to get shut down.
Plus, we wouldn't spend that type of money, bro.
No, of course. But you see, Declan, I think Declan could go a long way to answering. But say, for example, we kept Naby. Now, in my opinion, Liverpool need 8 centre midfielders. I know it sounds like...
you mean in total, you mean?
Yeah, but I know it's... Yeah, not in the side.
I was like, bro, you want to buy 8 midfielders? What the hell?
They're just gutting everything out, you know. But I think we need 8 midfielders in rotation. I genuinely do. Now, let's say, for example, we keep Keita. I think Keita becomes the backup for Thiago. And then you've got Carvalho.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
And then you've got Carvalho, who's the backup to Keita. So the left-hand side of midfield is sorted, yeah? Flacco still needs some defensive cover, and we still need a starter on the right-hand side.
For which Henderson would become the backup for.
Yes. And Hendo would also be the backup DM for that.
Yeah, DM, yeah.
Well. So he'd be the backup, and he'd be the backup for the right.
Effectively, Henderson will slowly become Milner.
Yes. We've spoken about this at length. But if Keita stays, there's no chance we get Basuma. So let's assume Keita stays. Who is it we get then? 2 centre midfielders drift. Who is it? One for DM and one for right-hand side. Who's the right-hand side? Because we're all saying Tchouaméni for the DM, right?
Yeah.
All right. So who is it then, brother?
Oh, you put me in a spot, bro.
I know, because I can't think of one myself. I had to throw you on.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I saw the bus coming and I went... I'm seeing Jude Bellingham shouts a lot. Guys,
we ain't got that P, man.
It's not even just that. Jude is fantastic going forward. But our fan base would rip Jude to shreds because of his defensive output.
That's true as well. That's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
Jude is sick, but if we're talking about getting annoyed with Henderson's distribution as well as, not distribution, defensive work a lot of the time, we're going to rip Jude a new one.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
McGinn, could McGinn be a shout? I know you don't like him, Drift, like that, but no.
Nah, bro.
Straight away,
no.
Drift said, move your blood clot. Cool. Who's next then?
Do me a favor, please. Right,
Mad
Max is just throwing just proper dream scenarios in there, you know.
Kimmich is a dream, but we know that ain't happening.
Jacob Ramsey's a shout, I guess. I mean, I still think he's got a lot to prove, but he's got the athleticism, that's for sure. I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't know. You're right. The only one that comes to mind is Gravenberch, and I still don't even necessarily know if that is like, you know who it would have been? Camavinga.
Yeah, it's a shout.
But he's at Real Madrid now, so that ship sailed a long time.
The squad for next season is 26 players are allowed, right?
Yes, I think, yeah.
All right, because I'm just doing some quick maths at the moment. So
a couple people are saying Valverde. We're not going to be able to get Valverde.
Nah, they love him at Madrid. Barella's a shout. Barella's a shout.
Ooh.
Barella's a shout.
Hey, that's a shout.
Barella's a shout.
And they need money.
They do need a little bit of money.
Do you think he would come to the Prem?
I don't know. A
couple of people saying Neves. As much as I love Neves, guys, he ain't got the athleticism that we're talking about for that position.
All right. So, Drift, let me stop you on Neves, though. Could Neves come in and do a job as a backup for Fabinho, for Fabinho, considering we don't rely on Fabinho's athleticism.
Yes,
but the
very good. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, he could. And still conduct play from deep. Yeah. That would be a good shout.
Jaden saying take Pogba off United. I don't think Pogba plays that right-hand side role the way we want him to, even though he's a class player.
Yeah, because he wouldn't help with the defensive stuff. The Barella shout. Cal, I'm down. I'm there for it, bro.
Brozovic is another shout. Brozovic is available on a free as well.
Is he free? Yeah,
he's available on a freebie still.
Nah, the Barella one, bro. I'm there. You know when you hear a name and you're like, yeah, I'm tuned in now. Barella, I'm there, bro. That's the one.
All right.
You know what? Renato Sanchez without the injuries would have been a brilliant shout.
No,
without the injuries, bro. Without the injuries. I mean, like, peak condition Renato Sanchez would have been brilliant for that, bro.
Tillemans?
Oh, hell no. He ain't got the legs.
Oh, man said, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no. No.
Nah, he ain't got the legs, bro.
Hell no. No. Milinkovic Savic, not really. The hype's kind of died down.
Fully died down, bro. Let's not start the Gavi stuff again, guys.
Nah,
he is not leaving Barcelona.
But again, with all due respect to your Gavis, your Bellinghams, we need someone who's ready right now for that right-hand side. Like,
but Barella, I'm tuned in now, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm tuned in.
I'm seeing a couple people saying Barella signed a new deal last summer, though.
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, but they need money, though. They need money. I think that scenario was a bit different because of the position of the club, innit? If they win the league again, they might even be more willing to let him go because they'll have, do you know what I mean? They'll have felt like they've got what they could out of him, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
All right, so check it. Here it is now, then, Drift, yeah? Pete Hour said, don't get on the Barella hype, Cal, and all is possible.
Oh, yeah, for real, Cal. You don't want Barella. You don't want Barella. Leave it to me. You want him. Like, you don't want him.
Just stay away from him. You're bad news. Leave him alone. You're bad news. All right, so check it now, Drift, yeah? Obviously, the magic number for homegrown is 8. If we can get a backup homegrown goalkeeper instead of Adrian, a backup right back for Trent, then effectively we cover the homegrown status regardless of who we get. Otherwise, we will have to go for an Englishman or two in the summer.
Okay, all right.
Or someone homegrown in the summer.
Ox would leave. And then Carvalho would take his place as a homegrown.
I'm gonna read out the 8 homegrown people I've got right now. So a backup homegrown goalkeeper to take Adrian's spot, a backup right back who's homegrown to take Trent's spot.
How important is a third choice goalkeeper in terms of the the quota though?
No, they're counted. You have to have 3 goalkeepers in.
But is that not why we would normally make one of them a youth player? For it to not take a spot in the 26, was that not why Kelleher became one of the guys? No,
you have to register 3 goalkeepers.
Oh, do you? Like officially, even if one of them is an under 23 player?
Yeah, you have to register.
Oh, okay.
So that's 2 goalkeepers that are homegrown. The backup right back, we're assuming, hopefully will be homegrown, and Gomez. So that's 4.
Keeping Nico counts as a homegrown, right?
Yeah, Nico. Let's say Nico stays. Nico's homegrown, so that's your 4 so far. Hendo would be your 5th.
Yeah.
Carvalho would be your 6th.
Yeah. Jones, if he didn't go on loan.
So this is the thing. I think if Carvalho's coming in and we get another centre midfield, I do think Jones may be moved on potentially. So that's 6.
What permanently?
Either on loan or permanently, either one.
Oh, right. You think we could let Jones go on a permanent, yeah?
Definitely on. He would be going in some way, shape, or form, though, innit? For next summer.
Yeah, he needs a loan somewhere, yeah.
And then Reece Williams would be number 7.
We need one more, innit?
We do, it looks like. Hold on, let me just do my maths again. So, Kelleher, backup goalkeeper. Trent, homegrown right back. Reece Williams, Gomez, Hendo, and Carvalho. No, that's the 8. That's the 8.
So we can buy one more player that's not homegrown for that position.
But we need a player for Salah as well. But that's obviously a different conversation.
Yeah, and effectively.
And Elliot, I'm not including Elliot because Elliot doesn't have to be registered. Elliot can just be in the squad. He doesn't have to be registered.
Yeah.
But if we want to, we can register him.
Effectively, we could also play Mane as a right winger if Salah wasn't playing.
No, there's space in our squad. With it being a 26-man squad, there's space for us to get a Salah backup and a right-hand sided centre midfielder.
So there's 2 more spaces.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about moving Mane to the right if need be and bringing in Darwin.
Mane's strictly left or centre.
I mean, if you got Darwin, you'd start changing things, though, isn't it?
I don't see us getting Darwin, bro.
You'll see.
We've already got. We all say we've already got a poacher in Jota. We've got all three positions or all three criteria for a striker, just not in one player. And if we were to get that in one player, it'd be
the caveat. The caveat to us getting Darwin, which is why I didn't say it before. I think it would mean that Bobby would go. So I would never let Bobby go in order to get him. But if we got him, then I reckon it would be because Bobby's going.
Which would be fair from the club standpoint.
It would still annoy me. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy with it. Martinelli's a shout to be back up to Salah.
Nah.
You wouldn't take him to just, let him learn his trade.
I want someone left-footed on that side, Drew.
Yeah, I hear that. Martinelli is definitely capable of skinning up a couple man, though.
Yeah.
Doing an orthodox right wing job rather than an unorthodox right wing job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the conversation, though.
Tear the heart out of the Gunners at the same time. Why not, innit?
But that's the conversation, though. If we can sort out right back and goalkeeper, then we're pretty much good. If not, then we are gonna have to look at your likes of your Bowens, whether you like it or not, Drew. And I'll be real with you.
I don't want to literally buy a guy because of the country he's born.
We're not just buying him for that, though. Like, Bowen is not a rubbish footballer.
Yeah, but he's not good enough to take us to the next level, though. I want the backup to Mo to be the way Diaz is coming, where it's a full elevation. Like you can see that he can take us to the next.
Diaz has been brought in to be a first choice left winger, Drew.
Well, that's arguable. I think he was brought in to literally just make sure we've got so much options that we're good.
Nah, Diaz is first choice now.
Eventually, I think he'll be first choice.
Next season, I think he'll be first choice.
Do you think so?
Yes.
That quickly?
Yeah. We're not buying Bowen to come in and be first choice. If we're having that conversation, then Bowen's nowhere near the conversation. But we're buying someone to come in and take games away from Salah.
What about when Watford go down getting Dennis?
Dennis? No, I want someone left-footed, brother.
You're proper on this left-footed thing, yeah?
But the balance is different. We see the.
I get it, and it works for the way we play, innit? Oh, do you know what, bro? So we will come back to this, but you just keep reminding me of stuff. See, yesterday, someone explained to me why there was a VAR check on a handball, yeah? When, I can't remember, was it Laporte, I think?
Yeah.
So there's a VAR check on a handball, but yeah, the referee doesn't give a corner. So if it hit him, but you're trying to see where it hit him.
All right, so here's the thing. But here's the thing. Once the referee makes a call for a goal kick, he can't reverse that decision, I don't think.
Of course he can, bro.
No, he
I've
can't.
seen it happen, bro. I've seen a referee give a goal kick. Linesman's gone, no, it's a corner, and I've seen him give a corner, bro.
But this is what Fahim's saying as well. VAR can't intervene for.
No, I know VAR can't intervene for a corner, but common sense tells you, well, if there's a check at where it hit him, it means it hit him. Let me use my fucking common sense. It's a corner.
No, bro, I know this, but this is where football's a bit silly, isn't it? But they couldn't. They weren't.
I laughed my ass off at that moment at the idiocy of the refereeing in that moment. I was like,
the thing is, it was blatant. It took a deflection for everyone to see. Everyone in the stadium could see that, apart from him. But the ref, once he's made that decision, the ref can't then change his mind on it. But common sense should have stipulated that, you know.
Back to the case in hand.
Bro, right hand side, we need to find someone for that.
It's just Anthony, bro. But people are telling me now they want 80 mil for him, which is crazy.
That's for a different show, Drift. Like that right hand side, that's for a different show. Mo's replacement, not Mo's replacement, but Mo's.
I don't believe that Ajax can demand 80 million, and I tell you why. Not because of the player, because he's a sensational player. Because I've never seen a player leave the Dutch league for 80 million. And Anthony ain't like the best player to leave the Dutch league. I don't think they can command that level of money from that league. I think we'll get him cheaper than that. I really do. Like even De Ligt only went for 62 million in the end. Do you remember like all the amount of fees that... No, but you get what I mean? Like there was astronomical fees being touted around for him. No, and even he only went for 60, bruv. And he was looked at as like the future of defending. So, yeah, I reckon we can get Anthony for less than that, if I'm being honest.
But if he is the one that we want, let's hope we can. I'm not sure we will be able to get him for less than that, though, because they will dig their heels in. And you can't blame them. They're a selling team. Can't really blame them.
Yeah. We'll trust me. We'll pull that one off.
All right, let's get through some of these super chats. So Promo says, reckon Klopp will change formation for FA Cup? Nah. Klopp ain't on this changing formation thing. Cypho Scott says, Trent moved to 8. He wasted running back yesterday, played Joe right back. I think we could have this conversation in a year's time. I still think Trent at right back makes the most sense, though.
I don't want Trent playing anywhere near midfield till he's about 28.
I'll be honest, I'm slowly starting to change my mind on it a little bit.
Are you? I'm not.
Yes. But if that happens, we have to go and get a world-class right back. Don't go and get me someone regular. It better be Kimmich. It better be Kimmich. If it
would have to be Kimmich, Reece James,
or Cancelo.
Yeah, and we're not getting any of them. So
I may have to leave that one for a year's time. The Miz says, today is my birthday, guys. Can you drop the beat? Indeed.
Happy birthday, bro.
Big up for your birthday.
Same birthday as Thiago. What's man saying?
Still, yeah, let's drop the beat for Thiago as well. Thiago and the Miz people. Big up. Eastwood says Mane will become more deadly for inbox scoring the longer he plays number 9. Jota to the left, Mane middle, Mo right. That's a point. Remember, Mane's still learning that position in the Liverpool system as well.
That's what's actually frightening how well he's doing.
Facts. TG Rock says Conference League for
I imagine.
Yeah,
imagine.
Cristiano and Varane coming out in the Conference League would be special, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know what their music is.
Yeah, they ain't got none. Messi FC says, imagine if Lucas Leiva's phone unlucky. Streets approved Thames, but Drift Ox can do that. Ox doesn't play with the starting 11 enough to show his quality.
I know, but it's just unfortunate he's not going to be able to ever fulfill what we thought he would. He was that guy. In 17, was it 16, 17?
17,
or 17, 18? He was so good until he got that injury in that role. So good, man. It was such a shame that injury happened to him.
Troy M says, plus this is almost certainly the last World Cup for Hendo. I think it's perfect time to transition Hendo into a lesser role next season. It's a good point as well.
Yeah. I do hear the logic. Oh, no, I don't know if I'll say it's his last World Cup. Yeah, he'll go to the Euros.
Ason says, if we are going Declan, I want Ndidi or Basuma. Ndidi, I'm not fully convinced by anymore, I'm going to be honest.
I still rate him. I just think the ship has sailed.
Yeah. Sunny Jim 26 says, the same thing happened against City, happened at Chelsea. When we play against dynamic, techie midfielders like KDB and Kovacic, it's a long day. That's
we
true.
started playing hot potato. And what's mad is Hendo even came out in his interview and admitted that he doesn't know why, but they kept on just playing long passes rather than keeping the ball.
I mean,
like he even admitted it.
He was one of the most guilty culprits.
To be fair, though, I think everybody was in that first half. Everybody, like, remember the clearances? Like, their goals came from Robbo and Van Dijk just making really stupid headed, like, you know, when you just think, oh, well, if I get my head in it, I've done my job. And they just headed it right back into danger, and goals, like, came from it. Like, especially when someone should have told Van Dijk, you've got time, like, there's no one there, bro. And I think that's a bit on Ali, because Ali should have said, leave it. And it would have just come through to him. And what was mad as well, bro, is watching it back, I realised the corner they scored from was Ali's fault from a really badgy, dodgy goal kick.
Yeah, that's true.
So our kicking was just crap yesterday, innit?
From everyone. Ason says, commit a heist, Tillemans and Ndidi from Leicester. Nah.
I don't want Tillemans, guys, man. I just don't. Unless all he's allowed to do is just stand on the edge of the box and pack shots, which he's brilliant at. I don't want Tillemans, man.
Unknown says, you guys should get Elise, has 35 mil release clause, apparently. Oh.
He is. I think he needs another year or two of development, but he's a baller though.
35 mil for Elise ain't bad still. Can get on board with that one still. although to nitpick, we should have just got him last summer when he was going for 8 mil. Like how no one else went in for him was crazy in my opinion.
No, but I think he needed a Palace cow. You know when a player needs a development club,
loan him then drift, buy him and loan him.
Yeah, you do it Chelsea. Yeah.
Troy M says someone mentioned Gallagher, and now I can't stop thinking about adding Schumanni and Conor Gallagher to our midfield. Klopp with Conor Gallagher, sheesh.
Gallagher in that role would be good still. But with Chelsea aren't letting that happen. Yeah, Cal. Yeah, I knew Cal. I was just
my MSV boss. Come on now. Homegrown as well. Fill that quota, baby. Fill that quota. Dean says, what if Klopp plays Mane as a 10 with Fab and Thiago? Diaz left wing, Jota striker, Salah right against City in the FA Cup. We will cause them problems. Your thoughts? I think we'll get overrun in midfield. I think we need a third natural centre midfielder in the game against City.
What I think it would do is just put too much pressure on Mane to learn another system again when he's just getting used to one already. Like it might be a bit much.
And if anyone's going to play the 10 for me, it should be Bobby.
Yeah.
Liverpool 12th man says, how do you give goal kick but have VAR check for Ham? No, that's what we were discussing, bro.
That's right, yeah. Big up, man. That's what they tell them. What a joke. Even common sense told you if there's a VAR check, that's why I'm waiting to restart play. It means it hit him. That makes it a corner then, don't it? Fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Jesus.
They need to start again with some of this refereeing standards and stuff. Hey ho. But guys, it's now time to move on to the FPL League. Let's see what's going on in that table.
Mark!
Mark! All right. You guys should be able to see that, right?
Yeah.
I've not checked this, so it's the first time I'm checking.
I did just before.
Oh, that's why you're screaming Mark then. In top. Oh! Whoa. This is mad. Wow. All right. So in first place is Marcus Forza Liverpool. 40 points at the top. That's a very good lead, by the way. Poundland FSG has come way up the table. They were languishing James was languishing like 13th at one stage. So big up.
I think he's been second for a couple of weeks now, though.
Oh, is it a couple of weeks now?
Yeah, he's been second for a couple of weeks now. I'm sure he has, yeah.
Canal in third place against Canal's come up as well. Glamour Boys in fourth. Routon in fifth. Mark 8 in sixth.
Mark!
Lockdown
I told you, bro. You can't throw stones and you live in a glass house, brother.
That is mad. Scoop is down to 8th. Scoop's in 8th now.
Yeah, I'm going to leave Scoop alone. He's been feeling it for a little while still.
Jeez. AJ in 9th. Sell to buy Edwards in 10th. Free Smoke in 11th. Zuki in 12th. Antonio with 40-year-old Virgil in 13th. The Great One in 14th. AFC Glendale in 15th. And Boss in Puddlefoot, my favorite name, is in 16th. Wow. Marcus is looking like he's just going from strength to strength, though. Mark, not even to call you out, bro. What happened, bro?
Mark!
Just a couple people asking where me, Matt, and Drift are in the table. We are not disclosing where we are in the table.
We are where we are.
I'm gonna be real.
We did this for y'all. We weren't really playing. We did this for y'all.
If I was actually a manager and this was FLP was for real, I'd be getting sacked in the morning still. In fact, I would have been sacked a long time ago still. So
no, you know there was a football manager where you get sacked and you make your name again and just come back.
Yeah.
And take over the same team again. Do you remember them ones?
Yeah. Boy, Mark, I'm shocked. Couple super chats. Math says, watch the game. The way City setup was elite. They set traps for our high line, and used pace to get him behind. Spent $1 billion, but only got a draw. Ha ha.
Funny thing is though, it was actually really scary at the fact that Klopp actually knew, because in the interview after the game, Klopp was like, "Yeah, they never play that many long balls." So it's like, no, but Klopp, an elite team is going to learn how to do what is easy to get us. We're all watching it, bro. You've got to do something about it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true. Ason says, show some love. Take Kante off Chelsea's wage bill. If we got Kante for that right hand side,
and he'd have to do a lot. But you know what though? After talking to some Chelsea fans, I don't know if they're just being like spoiled or whatever.
I don't want to hear this. His legs are going stuff.
But no. They said his injuries are starting to really become an issue, and we've already got Naby for that. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the problem is they've only got 4 real centre midfielders there. We would have 8.
I know, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll still take Kante, but if he's getting injured on a regular basis now, then.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. If we got Kante and just played him against Chelsea, City, and a couple of other,
what? No form, no rhythm. Just bring him on for that.
Kante don't know. He's one of those players who doesn't actually need it.
Oh man.
Bro, if we bought Kante and just played him in the City games and the Chelsea games, he'd pay his value back, because we'd win those games with him in the team.
First says he might be 50 at this point with 100,000 miles in his legs. Oh man,
Kante would be the one still. Kante would be the one.
Oh shit! So I thought that super was still saved. No,
it's cool. I've got it here. Jamrock says, "Cal, we need 2 starting caliber centre midfielders. If it's caliber centre midfielders you mean, then yeah, you're right. You're right. Tchouaméni and Basuma. Even if we still got Nami, I'd still go for Basuma. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Let's
1 month without Basuma and Keita, I think we can cope.
Let's just play wacky races for half a second. Did you watch how friendly and how cool Kevin De Bruyne was with every Liverpool player yesterday? Did you watch like the camaraderie and the hugs and the extra? And he was hugging Liverpool players more than he was hugging his own players.
Yeah, I know.
Remember who he supports?
Drift, you're crazy, bro.
Bro, what better way to end your career than to you play for the best manager for God knows how long? Just come and play for the other one and finish your career, innit?
There's more chance of us getting Haaland and then Mbappe this summer.
No, I know. Like I said, just play wacky races for a little while. Demo's right, man. Just let man dream for a second, innit, bro?
I've had this dream and it's been shut down so many times that I'm going to become the spoil sport now. No. We're never getting De Bruyne. Never.
Oh,
bro, don't you remember when they were going through the contract negotiations, bro? And I tried that whole, maybe. Oh, I don't care if they go to the same school, Mark. Come on, bro. What are we doing? You not say I'm the fantasy guy because I speak about Neto and all these, and you're trying to tell me about bloody KDB, guys. If that's the case, bro, we should be worried about Virgil going City then, innit?
No.
He looked buddy with Pep as well. Oh, we're quiet now, innit?
But Virgil has no connection to them, whereas KDB is a Liverpool fan, isn't it?
Oh, fair enough. Ason says FSG will bring Coutinho and Genie in the summer.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm never gonna lie, as much as I love those two, that'll be an anti-climax and a half after all this, man. They can't go get rinsed out of other clubs for 2 years and then come back. Fuck that.
Yeah, nah, definitely not.
How many years has KDB got left in his contract?
Too many. Bobby, we're women and arguing about paying Salah sort of money that KDB is on now, bro.
KDB's on 375, right?
Yes, we're women and arguing about paying that sort of money to Salah. You think
but as you said, if Nat goes, that frees up wages. If Origi goes, if Ox goes, that frees up wages. Wow.
But his deals, he's 400k a week, by the way.
Oh, is it 400?
Yeah.
How many years has he got left?
I don't change anything. Nah, Drift, nah.
How many years has he got left in his deal?
I think he signed a new deal in last season, so maybe about 3 or 4 years left.
Somebody in the comments actually give me his actual contract length.
Oh,
so
I'm going to find out to shut this down, man.
So I can start manifesting.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Cal is actually angry at me for giving the fantasy that he would wish he could get involved.
His contract ends in 2025.
That's not too far away.
Nah, only the 3 years.
Yeah.
Nah, it's nothing, is it?
By the end of this year, he'll have 3 years left. Maybe he'll be willing to come and finish his career at Liverpool. We can have a
yeah. And obviously, we'll part with 80 mil to get him as well from our biggest rivals. Yeah, it makes sense.
At his age, you wouldn't cost 80.
What, 60?
50.
Yeah, we'll pay that for a 29, 30-year-old, isn't it?
Oh, he's like 31 now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, we've got a history of paying that sort of money for 30. Yeah, definitely happening. Liverpool 12th man says, LBH. Who's LBH?
LBH is pulling 100 mil players in 85th. He must be talking about a manager. What manager's LBH?
Which manager is pulling?
What, Chelsea?
No, that's Tuchel.
But that's the only £100 million player I can think of.
Oh, no, it means let's be honest. Oh, we're old, bro. We're so out of tune.
Raw.
We are so out of tone, bro.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah. All right, allow us, people in the comments. Allow us. We're just pulling your leg, people. We knew women. Got ya.
My God.
Let's be honest. Man City is pulling 100 mil players off the bench in the 84th minute. Yeah, Grealish. Well, we exposed ourselves big time there. Still. I'm thinking LBH, bro. What's LBH?
I'm like, LBW. That's cricket, isn't
it? Oh boy. Lulu says Pep hugging Klopp at the end was epic. Nah, it's nice to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
It even made Cal feel a little bit different about Guardi there.
Messi FC says at this point, Drift is abusing his manifest power.
Yeah, for real. I better stop because I'm meant to use her for good only, innit? Like,
yeah. Jamrock says Kevin signed a 2-year contract and our players are asking for 4 years. Why can't we have those type of players asking for shorter contracts? And Mo wants 4 years as well. Kevin got a 2-year extension.
I was going to say, yeah, it would have.
Kevin still had 2 years left on his contract. He just had it extended, Jamrock, where Salah's going into the last year. Aston says more chance of Gerrard coming back than us getting KDB. That's Gerrard as a player, by the way. Not
I know.
Boy. All right, but people, that's going to wrap us up for this show. One more super chat. Math says, can we have a Mane appreciation show at the end of the season? He sacrificed a lot for us from his position to win, to his Senegal wins, getting paid peanuts.
Math,
if we win, everyone's
ask and you shall receive.
I'll be honest.
It's irrelevant what we end up with, Cal. I'll even if I do it on my own, Maths, I'll give you a show about
that. Might be a show on your own, bro. If we don't win anything else between now and the end of the season, no one's getting an appreciation show, bro. Like, what are you taking this for, bro?
We just go through the season with this document how his brilliant journey from Senegal, what they called flops or whatever in the last one to getting it over the line and a beautiful story. We'll do that.
Yeah, you can do that, Drew. We've given Mane his flowers, bro. If like, no, ain't happening, bro. I need to see more from everyone. Like, ain't happening. That ain't happening. I watch. But
don't be a grumpy old man.
Say what you want, bro. LBH out here, bro. People, do smash the like button if you haven't already. As we said, after this show will be the views review will be dropping, so make sure you tune in for that, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. People, we will be back on Wednesday for the live match watch along for Benfica, and also, guys, the preview as well. Check out the preview. Preview's out now as well for the Benfica Liverpool game. So yeah, plenty of content to keep you tied over for 24 hours, well, 48 hours. And then we're back smashing Benfica and going into the Champions League semi-final. What a time to be alive, people. What a time to be alive. I know. Blessings to everyone who came into the chat today. Until we see you on Wednesday. Stay safe,
up, guys.
Safe. We're Kop-Ish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.